Before I gavel in the meeting tonight, I would request that we take a moment of silence in memory for Charlie Kirk, please. Thank you. Call to order this meeting of the North Lake County Hospital District. What is today? September the 11th, 2025. Tonight we have with us Bishop Yates. Bishop Yates is a longtime resident of Lake County. He is the husband to his beautiful wife, Shanita, and 4 adult children, Dustin, Justice, Callie, and Faith. He is the pastor and founder of Frontier Church and has served the cities of Lake County for over 14 years. We're honored to have you here, sir, if you'll come with the invocation and pledge to the Legion. Yes.
Let's bow our heads. Father, we come tonight for the Lake County Medical Board, for they are your servants. I pronounce wisdom upon them, great counsel, your countenance. May your hands of mercy move upon their hearts. May you give them wisdom, insight, prudence when it comes to the budget, the money, the expenditures on what should happen in this county that will change people's lives for generations. I give them understanding. I speak upon them great blessings, long life, wisdom, God, that will prevail against the difficulties that they face. Father, in the name of Jesus, I pray today that as they go along their program, that, Lord, your hand would be upon them heavy, and may they walk out of this meeting more blessed than they ever have been. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
What is your pleasure with the reading of the minutes of the last meeting?
Oh, no, we have to have a roll call.
Okay, roll call. Okay,
Sorry.
sorry, I can't even read.
Ms. Aliberti? Here. Mr. Hanson? Here. Mr. Harper? Here. Mr. Hurley?
Here.
Mrs. Price? Here. Thank you.
Now, what is your pleasure with the reading of the minutes?
I move we waive the reading of the
Waive the
minutes.
reading? Okay.
Approval. Oh, sorry.
Move to approve.
I move to approve. Ooh.
Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Can I just make a comment? I don't believe I received these. I don't think I received anything but an agenda beforehand, unless I missed something.
I know that the minutes went out much earlier, and then the packet went out again this week or on Friday, and then the reports went out on Tuesday.
Well, I looked
So-
today, and I sure did not see them. So
Well, perhaps after the meeting, if you will give me your emails again, but they came from my assistant, Beth Mueller at Kirsty Law, where they come from for the last,
Right, yeah.
8 years.
Because I was looking and I was shocked. I was like, all I have is an agenda.
okay? And I also call the members to see if everybody's coming and so please let me know if you don't receive things. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. White, you want to do some?
Yeah, so included in the packet was the quarterly report of agreed upon procedures, which I'll invite Farland Halleckman of Farbus and Mazars to present, if he's so willing.
Thank you. And I'll identify myself. I'm Farland Halleckman, partner at Farbus Mazars. And what I do for the district is review the submissions from the providers and make sure that they are documented the way that they're supposed to be documented in order to get paid. So I have given you the March report that has what was submitted and what was paid by for each of the, when I said what was paid, you haven't written the checks yet, but that's the amounts that will be paid to each of the providers. We did the same procedures as we have in the past. There's the additional procedure that we were asked to do to verify that the indigent party was in the country legally.
I have a question. Normally, by this time, we have it all the way till June 30th, so what happened?
Yeah, there's one that just submitted their June numbers to us, actually Monday, and we just haven't been able to finalize that one. Everybody else is finalized, and I have the numbers for June. I can give you an estimate of, barring anything unforeseen, I can tell you how much carryover you're going to have that's unclaimed, if you're interested. 800,000. 800,000. Unclaimed.
Marlon, do you mind if I interject on that? Included in here, though, is the submissions from Livestream Behavioral, and their unfunded portion is listed as 300, gosh, I had it in front of me, I'm sorry, 300-ish thousand, 362,000, but we don't fund Livestream for 24 or 25 directly. 100% of their funding went to their low-income pool LIP funding, so they got their full, they didn't get it directly, but we paid the full 1.236 to the state on their behalf, so that carry forward will not be the full 800, it'll be less 300,000, so.
362?
About, I'm gonna take I just got the June draft myself, I will update the carry forward so that for the next meeting, the final meeting where we hopefully will have an approved and final millage and budget, that budget will have an updated actual, which should be a hard actual, so we should know exactly what the carry forward will be to impact your decision on that final millage and budget.
Will we get that via email prior to the next meeting?
Yes, sir. In the packet, the budget worksheet scenario will be in there and updated and much more accurate with regard, less speculation as to what the submissions were going to be.
Okay.
So we're looking at between, what, 450,000 to 500?
Correct, and we currently, within the budget worksheet, have a $500,000 carry forward built in, so it might be really close to what our estimate was. I'm hopeful. I'm just asking you to acknowledge that number likely will change, at least to be more specific. May not materially change, but that number should change, and you will have the most accurate information at your fingertips before making your final decisions.
I'll entertain a motion to accept as read.
Make a motion to accept the motion as read.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, at this time we'll entertain any additional requests for funding from any of our providers. Is there any additional requests for funding? Okay, hearing none. We'll have the recitation for the record. Ms. Kirsty.
The name of the taxing authority is the North Lake County Hospital District. The rollback rate is .3859 mils. The percentage is an increase over the rollback rate of .3859. And the property tax levy of 116.61% over the rollback rate of .3859 mils. That is reflected on Resolution 2025-01.
What is your pleasure? You want to waive the reading of the proposed resolution 2025-01 and resolution 2025-02?
To be read by title only.
I move that we read by title only.
Second?
I second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Okay. All right,
Ready for me to read the title?
yes.
Resolution 2025-01, resolution of the North Lake County Hospital District providing for the adoption of the millage rate for the 2025-2026 budget year. It's in your packet 8A. You have to have public comment first on this.
Okay, do we have any public comment on resolution 2025-01? Yes, sir. Please step to the microphone and state your name.
Good evening. In appreciation of the 3 minutes, I'm going to probably read this just so I don't get off track here. And I want to thank you for the moment of silence. I appreciate that. Why are we here tonight?
Would you state your name, please,
Oh,
sir?
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Bob Willie, Fruitland Park, Florida. Why are we here tonight? In the 60s, approximately 60 years ago, the same time as the 1963 founding of the Leesburg Regional Medical Center, or LRMC, our more rural and agricultural-based citizens of North Lake County chose to ensure access to health care for our poorest residents by creating this special taxing district. This district provides for the funds to help cover treatment costs for families, single mothers, and children who cannot afford the care. I hope we can agree that our community is significantly less rural and the economy has shifted from agricultural in those 60 years. Please note that my primary objection to this budget proposal is the UF Health Leesburg Hospital's request for a 41% increase in funding to $4.5 million from the generosity of the taxpayers while eliminating the hospital's maternal child health unit, resulting in the reduction of a critical healthcare service to the community, as well as the potential risk of life to expectant mothers and their unborn children, thereby doing the opposite of what this tax district was founded for. What does that clinic do, or that unit do at the hospital? It provides for all pregnant mothers from 20 weeks to after delivery. It has 2 operating triage rooms. What will be the consequences for those needed services previously provided by UF Health? No delivery of babies. Emergency deliveries will be diverted to Advent Health in Tavares, Orlando Health in South Lake County, or Ocala, many of whom are the poorest of our citizens. My personal belief is having a child is an act of optimism about what happens in the future. We need to encourage and support families who desire to have children at what seems to be an increasingly challenging time to have them. I don't see the counter, so I will, I guess, I could speak to what is being proposed. I was an elected official in a neighboring county. I'm very familiar with the process of how millage works. And we pride ourselves frequently, and I speak for myself, in saying that I didn't raise the tax rate. Sounds good until you look at what the revenues are generated from that. That's why the state requires a rollback rate. Gives you the same revenue as previously. This board has chosen to not only keep the same millage rate as last year, but increase it by 10%, thereby, I think, raising the revenue from last year, 19.4% is roughly what I came up with. An increase of roughly $8.6 million, okay, out of a current budget of $8.4 million, roughly, okay? So I'm dismayed. I'm not making babies anymore, okay? So I don't have that interest, but I think for our community, we need that service. So I would encourage you, when University of Florida Health comes here requesting funds, ask them to reinstate that unit for our community and those that this board services through their
Thank you, sir.
tax dollars.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wiley. I'm not sure that we were aware of this before we had our meeting of proposed budget. Would it be out of order to ask Mr. Braun to come up and speak about UF Health and that particular thing?
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name's Phil Braun. I'm Vice President with the UF Health Leesburg Hospital. I was born at Leesburg Regional. My kids were born at Leesburg Regional. Many of my cousins, my family members were born at Leesburg Regional. So I can tell you that it was not an easy decision to absorb. It was not an easy decision to be made. But I will tell you that I also truly believe that the county is not without services. I believe, and we worked closely with Advent Health, who is 9 miles from the Leesburg Hospital. And the idea to consolidate the services was thought to be best due to the declining volume of patients that we were seeing. And, being a good steward of resources is important. And I truly believe, and Waterman is certainly capable of absorbing those sources. The other issue that we came up with, that UF Health struggled with and has been struggling for a little bit of time, is we have lost OB physicians. And that is not something that, we don't employ those. Those are private doctors who choose to live or not live in Leesburg, or choose to provide services in Leesburg, and they have left in quite a big number. We went from 9 to 3. Of those 3, the majority of the deliveries are done by one person. Almost 3 times the deliveries are done by one OB. That OB is at retirement age, beyond retirement age. Not sure how much longer he plans to work. I don't know. He's capable. He's still doing it. But those are factors that we had to take in seriously and consider. Are we going in now and into the future going to be able to provide the best OB services, or is it better for the county to consolidate those services? Again, not an easy decision. Not only was I born there, but the CEO of Leesburg Hospital, Heather Long, her family is from here and had family members there. So I completely understand the sentiment and pushback. I also want to be clear that no funding from this district has ever been used to pay for labor and delivery services. They don't qualify because of most of those have some type of insurance payment. And in order to be paid by this district, you must have none. And the only thing that I might disagree with that was said about the community is, yes, we are not a rural community, but we are not an industry community. We do not have industry in Leesburg. We barely have any in Lake County. Leesburg, actually, the biggest industry, the biggest employer, the biggest economic driver is the hospital. And so as I stand here as a lifelong resident of Lake County, born and raised here, born at Leesburg Regional Medical Center, I get the emotional response, and don't blame anybody for the way they feel about it. But I also do not and cannot understand why the reaction is to punish or hurt the very thing that you so much want, hospital services. So that to me is just not a logical reaction to let's further cause a hospital that's got right now a negative operating budget, trying to dig out of a negative operating budget. Let's further hurt that, which then further hurts the services that are provided. So if you want to, if you feel like the millage needs to be adjusted, I will say that when we brought that number, that was the number that we knew we could provide, or felt pretty confident that we could provide services. We don't get that money if we don't provide the services. If we do not see those indigent patients, we do not get that payment. And you would have a surplus, or if Waterman saw more people, they would be able to qualify for those. That's our best estimate. Could we be off? Yeah, I don't think we're off a lot if we even are off. Like I said, I don't know of about a bunch of commercial business that's coming to Leesburg anytime soon that's going to be providing insurance to their employees, other than what's there. And that's pretty much the hospital and Romac, I think, are probably the two largest employers in Leesburg proper. But you also have to look at hospital services as a regional thing. And there's which is part of the discussion with Waterman, is they're able to handle deliveries. They're 9 miles away, and they're on the, I'm not trying to age, but they're on the younger side of the community. They are closer to Orlando. They are closer to a more commercial payer mix. They are closer by 9 miles, which may not sound like, but and then on the other side of us, you have South Lake, also a very growing area. Leesburg is slowly being the industry and the businesses and the jobs are being sucked to the outer edges of Lake County. And in those areas, they have larger hospitals. In fact, Advent is building another hospital in Mineola, which will be even closer to Leesburg. I don't know what the opening date of that is, but it's coming, and it looks beautiful. And I'm not sure, but they'll have OB services there, right? Yeah, I think they plan to have. So when we made that decision, it wasn't, we were like, oh, we got to get out and we'll leave the community with nothing. We wanted to make sure, and we felt sure, and we still feel pretty confident that the community is not left with no services. If that was the case, we would have been a different conversation. And that's why there's other services that, that we struggle with volume wise, but we feel like we gotta focus on those, and we feel like there is a bigger need in Leesburg particularly for those other services. So our EDs are still going to be open. We'll still take what comes and treat regardless of the payer mix. And in this district, as stated 60 years ago, I would tell you, and I truly believe this is not just me speaking as part of the hospital, I truly believe that the only reason that Leesburg has the healthcare services it has today is because of the formation of this district. It allowed it to bring open heart programs and stroke programs that would never be in a community like Leesburg. That would be in Orlando, but would never be in a community like Leesburg. At one time, Leesburg Hospital, because of this district, was the third largest open heart program in the state in Leesburg. And that's before the villages. That's before the boom of the villages. That was what was able to be done when they had healthy margins and bottom lines. Because I know having a healthy margin and bottom line gets confused with making a bunch of money, But what that does is it allows you to reinvest into your people, into your equipment, into your services to make them better for everybody, not just the indigent. It makes them better for everybody. So I probably talked more than I should have on this subject, but I hope that maybe I shedded a little bit of light into the tough decision that was made, not an easy decision. And I hope you feel comfortable that there are still great options in the community. They're not left with none. And I'm happy to answer or try to answer any questions.
I do have another question.
I do too.
I'm shocked, to say the least. My concern is, you say 9 miles to Advent. Okay, that's fine. 9 miles could take you 20 minutes to get there. So a mother that's getting ready to deliver a child in an emergency situation could possibly lose that child that 20-minute drive from Leesburg, depending on where they live in Leesburg, Fruitland Park, Lady Lake. And that is extremely concerning to me. I know that when I had my child in Leesburg 44 years ago, it was a scary situation then because there were hardly any OB doctors in Lake County, to be honest. And I was scared to death. And I mean, the day I had my first child, the maternity ward was packed. And they said, we've never seen anything like this. And my fear is that a child is in jeopardy. And I'm sorry that I'm a little emotional about that, but that is a huge, huge concern for me. Thank you.
Those are very fair concerns. I do think the statistics will show that, and I don't like to just quote statistics. I think those are very, I can't argue with those concerns. Those are very fearful concerns. There are many hospitals that have closed OBs in communities. There are many places that don't even have hospitals. There's a couple counties in Florida that don't even have hospitals. There's counties in Florida that don't have any OB, much less 3 hospitals that Lake County has. So I do understand your concerns, and I do think our ED physicians are very capable physicians. They're trained in that kind of stuff. That Spanish Plains in the villages has not had OB services ever, and there have been deliveries there, and people go there when they're an emergency, and they do go there, and they have had, we haven't had tragic outcomes like that.
So my concern would be, though, is a mother has to go to the emergency room at Leesburg because she has no other option. She walks in screaming, the father's screaming, we're having a baby, we're having a baby.
ED doc is trained and capable of doing.
So do you have, will you still have the facility to care for that baby if it's born early?
We don't have that now. We don't have a NICU now. We're not a level 2 NICU. We do not see, and we have never seen. And so just to be clear, high risk pregnancies have never come to Leesburg Regional. We've never been capable. We're not licensed for it. And so we have never kept a baby like that because we're not allowed to keep a baby like that.
I mean, I know.
So we're not licensed for that. And so, and most of those type of high risk are very well known ahead of time. And they go to Orlando now today. They don't even go to Waterman. They go to Orlando. So that service has never been here. And part of it is it's a hard service to have, and it's hard to qualify. And one of our biggest problems, Barbara, just like you said, it's not necessarily the hospital, it's there aren't physicians. And we have to kind of consolidate where they go. If they have a hard time being on staff at multiple hospitals. They really do. They don't like it, and they can't do it, and because they got to take call at both hospitals, and it becomes very hard, especially for OB, because they're at all hours of the time. You know, even planned ones, they're still, it's the hours, even you can plan it, but it might be planning for 3 a.m. or it might be planned at 7 a.m. So as much as we would love to reinstate the service, trust me, if we thought we could do it in a manner that was helpful to the community, we would do it. This is not something we want to do. I can tell you, it probably will have other repercussions for us. and it's, you know,
So why are there not doctors in Leesburg to deliver babies? Is there not
City
enough
of Leesburg,
births?
that's a City of Leesburg commission probably question. No offense to the City of Leesburg, they'll probably kill me for that, but
Obviously, if you were rolling in surplus, it would
yeah. Well, they, you know, the,
buffer that a little bit, but why are there no doctors?
well, it's not just OB. I wish it was just one service. I have a lot of theories. I don't have any facts. I mean, you know, the school systems aren't the greatest. The entertainments, you know, nightlife, the big city calls them, and those hospitals, not to, you know, disparage them, but many of the hospitals and even the physician practices in Orlando and where they have a 60-70% or, you know, large commercial payer mix, they can pay for them. They can pay for them. And physicians' salaries are not going down. They're not asking for less. They're not willing to come for less. And it's just a matter, and there's a shortage in the state, right? There's a shortage in the state, and they can only go so many places. Where are you going to go? If you're a physician and you can demand, you know, $50,000-$60,000 more a year, where are you going to go? You going to come here? I wish they would, and we have some success, and we continue to try. Trust me, we try. It's important. All the hospitals, physician recruitment we're out of business without physicians. So remember, the patients are who we take care of. But without the physicians, there is no patients to take care of, because most of them bring the patients that actually cover your costs.
There was another way of putting it, that the birth rate doesn't support enough, it won't generate enough revenue to bring doctors into the area, therefore shorting you, therefore putting your organization in a difficult position? Is that what I'm hearing?
I think that is a big part of it. It's a multi-factor thing, but I think that's a large, maybe more than 50% part of it. And I don't know that the volume in the county as a whole is the problem, as much as you're trying to divide that, and you're dividing the physician numbers. The key thing is you're trying to divide the number of physicians willing to come here among now a fourth hospital will be in Lake County. And honestly, South Lake is a more attractive place to live currently. I don't know if it'll always be that way, but currently it is. And so it's a difficult, healthcare is hard. We all know that. You guys have heard the stories. And you're never going to make everybody happy. You're not going to provide all the services you can. If we could provide, I mean, we don't provide a lot of high level. We provide what we can, and we take care of a lot of people. But, you know, we don't do trauma. We don't do, you know, those kinds of things, because a lot of healthcare is going regional, right? It's like, where do you bring it? Now, you got to have emergency rooms, and we do that. And we have highly qualified, trained emergency room physicians. You know, those don't fall off the trees either. They're difficult recruitment. But there are more of them than they're a little less rare than some of the other specialties. The specialties are tough.
And especially earlier in pregnancies now, the issues are being recognized and they are referred to high-risk doctors. And all the high-risk doctors at the north end of the county are east, Sanford, Apopka. So I'm going through that right now. I have gone through that, and they're prepared for that, and they have the specialists.
So I know that Leesburg Hospital has quality doctors on staff. My biggest concern, really, and I'm not picking on you, I promise. Let's put up a different scenario, even though you said, well, you don't normally have expecting mothers indigent. Isn't that what you kind of said earlier?
No, I said they don't qualify. I didn't say they weren't indigent, because Barbara, the state of Florida has ways to take care of pregnant women.
So I'm going to give you a different scenario. Let's say that you have a young mother. Let's say she's 20 years old. Becomes pregnant, doesn't know she's pregnant, because that happens, until the time of delivery. She doesn't know that Leesburg Regional doesn't deliver babies. And she's in panic mode. That is my concern.
That happens
I think
today.
it's a legitimate question to ask. But I'm very concerned about it. I'm just, and to say that there aren't, I see a lot of pregnant women in this county. I mean, you can go to most any of the department stores and they have special spots for them and they're always taken to park in. I'm floored. I really am. I'm floored. I'm disappointed. I know that Leesburg is a great hospital. I know they give great care, but I'm concerned. I'm very concerned.
And as I said from the very beginning, I don't disagree with anybody's concern or being concerned. But I also truly do believe that the county does have services. And today people come that don't know they're pregnant into our ED and never see an OB doc because the timing is just so that happens. They deliver in ambulances. They deliver. I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, but I think that they could. I don't know that they're. There'll be some outcomes you can't control. I don't care if you have a level 2 NICU or level 3 NICU. There'll be things that it's just. Bad things happen, but I don't know that this. I don't know that I agree that it makes it much more likely. But those are still fair in feelings. I can't disagree with having feelings like that at all.
I first heard about this decision sitting in the barber chair, and everybody in the barber shop was very upset about that decision. And personally, I was too. I still wish things were different. 3 years ago, my third great-grandson was born. His mother was in the hospital for 2.5 months before he was born. After he was born, he was in NICU for 3 months. The first time I held him, I got to go in the hospital. None of the family or anybody could go in. The only way I got to go in is because I was a pastor. And I held the little thing in my hand. And since then, he's now 3 years old. He's had 33 surgeries. And even to this date, his mother makes 3 trips a week with him to Orlando. So he may or may not have a long, healthy life. We don't know. It would be nice if she didn't have to make that trip. It would be nice if we had facilities to take care of every scenario. And because it's personal to me, and I've experienced it. I even called you to get some clarification, some ideas, and but then it dawned on me what our purpose here is. And you stated it earlier that not one penny of the money that we spend goes to delivering babies, and our purpose is to take care of the indigent of our community. That's why I was elected to this position. That's why I serve here. And so that's why I continue to vote year after year to support our hospitals and our clinics. I think you do good work, and I wish you could do it for pennies instead of millions of dollars. I'm sorry. It's time for me to shut up. I just think that we should not lose sight of the purpose that we are here. And it's painful. Any time we take money out of our pocket, if it's not money that feeds us or houses us or clothes us, it's money that we take vacations with and do other things. But anytime you take money out of your pocket, it's painful. So I understand the outcry of our citizens because we're asking them to spend this money. But I've asked this question 1,000,000 times. If we don't take care of our indigent, what are we going to do? Just let them die in the streets? We have to take care of them. Somebody has to take care of them. And I don't know. I don't think I'm any different. I think most everybody that lives in our county feels the same way I do. We're compassionate. We're caring. We're wonderful people who live in this community. And so, the decision was the hospitals to make, and I wish it were different, but my business here is to take care of the indigent. Thank you, Mr. Braun. Anyone else have any questions?
Thank
From
you.
the public, any questions? Okay, thank you. Okay, sir.
I understood that conversation, so none of the indigent care money that this tax district creates goes to helping indigent mothers? I just want to be clear, because if that's the case, then my argument about still what is happening falls on deaf ears, because
I think that's,
we're saying that, yeah, none of this tax district money goes to indigent mothers and their unborn child. That's what I heard. I just want to make sure I was clear, that's all.
and that's what I heard.
Yeah, you heard that too. Okay, yeah.
The short answer is yes. What you said is correct. And I had the submissions checked, just to be sure. I had the recent submissions checked to be sure that we haven't done that. And the reason I knew, logically that it didn't happen, but I wanted to make sure, so I had it checked. Because mothers who are pregnant are covered under the state of Florida Medicaid program. And anybody who has Medicaid or other insurance is not qualified for the tax district money. So this tax district is got very strict requirements under the HICRA, and if they have any type of funding source, then they don't qualify. So that is why I was pretty certain, but I did have, just to make you feel even better, I had our submissions checked to make sure.
But after they have delivered a baby, they would qualify for some of these services if they qualify.
If it was past
Yeah, past the pregnancy.
outside related to the
Correct.
to the pregnancy,
Yeah.
likely, yeah. If they had God forbid, a stroke, a couple weeks later or something, then yes. But that would be a different treatment. Yeah.
Okay, what is your pleasure on this resolution?
So I just Googled up a resident who qualified as indigent under the former North Lake County Hospital District pregnancy and delivery services would have been covered. However, when it was legally dissolved in 2022, its indigent care responsibilities were transferred to Lake County Board of Commissioners. So I don't even know where that's coming from. I just Googled it up. No, I just Googled it up and it came up. So I'm just kind of. Well, I just put North Lake County Hospital, does it cover pregnancy services for indigent, if they're indigent? From Medicaid. Yeah, I know that, but they would have to qualify for Medicaid after the fact. If they just walked into the hospital and didn't know they were pregnant. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, is there a motion for the resolution?
I move for the resolution. 02?
01.
Oh, 01. 10, okay.
I second the motion for that resolution.
We have to
Discussion?
vote on this by
For the
separate.
public? Pardon me?
So now we just vote on separate votes now.
Okay.
Mrs. Aliberti?
Aye.
Mr. Hansing? No. Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Hurley?
Yes.
Ms. Price? No. So we got a 3-2.
Okay, so the resolution carries.
Passes, yeah. Yes.
3-2,
Yes.
okay? So we'll move to Resolution 2025-02. Yes, read the title, please.
Resolution of the North Lake County Hospital District providing for the adoption of the proposed budget for the 2025-2026 budget year.
I move the resolution.
Okay. Okay, is there any public comment for Resolution 2025-02? Any public comment?
Hearing none, you can go to board action.
Okay. We'll call the roll. No.
Got a motion.
We have a motion. We have a motion, Ms. Aliberti. Second?
Yeah, I'll second this motion for -02.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Discussion?
Mrs. Aliberti? Aye. Mr. Hansing? No. Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Hurley?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
No. Okay, the resolution carries 3-2. Okay. All right. Are there any other matters that are necessary to achieve our aforementioned goals? Okay, since we have a few more minutes.
I'd just like to remind the board that the next meeting is September 25th, 2025. It's at 5:30. Mrs. Price has already advised us she will not be attending, able to be here, and hopefully the other four of you will confirm that you can be attending, please.
Okay. It has come to my attention that there is an effort to write new legislation providing alternative funding for health care for indigent persons here in Lake County. And I will, at this time, entertain a motion that we discuss these possibilities of alternative funding that are in the works at this time. If anyone would.
I'm not willing because we have no idea what's in the packet for the legislation to present. Until I see what they're presenting, I'm not willing to talk about discussion of how or how they're going to distribute money or how they're going to form. I just heard of this at the delegation meeting a couple weeks ago, and there was not any in-depth conversation about it. So I personally think that we should not be talking about it till we know what they're presenting in a bill to present to the Florida legislatures, because I was shocked, to be honest, and I just don't think this is the right time to do it. Session starts in January. It's close, but I don't think we have any other option, because we don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. Like I said, I was shocked. I was completely shocked, and without having any background of what they're proposing, I don't know what we could be talking about at this point.
So everyone is in agreement. Nobody has any information on it. There's no reason to discuss it. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Is there any other new business? Okay. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, board. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.